Hello, Cancer. This is your reading for the next 48 hours. We're going to open up the energy of the reading today with the moth spirit. Surrender now. Interesting. Surrendering our need for control. Yeah. Surrendering to the flow of the universe. Surrendering to the facts as they are, things that we cannot change. You know, the wisdom to know sort of what needs surrendering. Let's do our tarot. We're going to use the Rider-Waite pack today. We have the Six of Pentacles. You've got a Queen of Wands. A Judgment card, interesting. A Two of Cups. Four of Swords. A Knight of Cups. Wow, that's one of your superpower cards, Cancer. That's very, very good. So we are moving forward. We are making progress. The Four might be a pause to sort of, to assess our situation. A pause for clarity before we keep going. Okay. An Ace of Pentacles. An Ace of Cups. Wow, yeah. Wow. Temperance card too. And the Five of Pentacles. So I feel that this is kind of a transitional time for you. I feel like something may be on its way out and new things are on their way in, you know. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right over here with our little sea turtle friend right on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need, you know, at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments right below the video. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we see two major arcana cards. We see the Judgment card, which is kind of a rising to a new opportunity, rising to the occasion, answering a call, doorway to a future. We see a Temperance card, which is a sort of a pressure cooker. It's sort of a transformation process that we might be going through. It's something that may not be pleasant, but it's worth it, okay? It may be the surrender energy that we have with this moth, you know, spirit. And, you know, the moth kind of is drawn to the light, you know. So this may be kind of a situation where we know that we're being transformed and we sort of have to surrender to that process, you know, to surrender to what is going to transform us and transform our lives, even though we know it's going to be something of a difficult process, right? Anyway, so we have our majors. We've got, do we have any fire? We don't, oh, we got the Queen of Wands. We got some fire. We have water and water and water. We've got air. And then we have earth and earth and earth. Okay, a lot of water, a lot of earth. The Six of Pentacles as our first earth card, right? Maybe during this 48-hour period, expect generosity. Expect assistance. Expect some sort of a very harmonious exchange, okay? It's a good period of time to practice gratitude. When you receive, and fairness when you're on the other side, when you're giving. Give fairly. When you're receiving, we practice gratitude. There's that idea of that fair exchange, that harmonious relationship at work, at home, at school. Okay, it's reciprocating. It's a time to be very conscious of the power dynamics in your life. How do you offer assistance to other people without enabling them? Okay. What are the limits to your generosity? What are the limits to how much you're willing to give somebody else to help them or make their life easier? And when do you have to kind of say, you got to help yourself now, you know? This is the sharing of time, advice, or resources where you feel like they're going to make the most impact. Okay. And I think that's the key. Where is your effort really going to make a difference? Okay. It's also a good time to ask for what you need. Support is available if you reach out. There's mutual respect that keeps your relationships and your finances very healthy. Okay? So it's a good time for that in your life. I think, for the next 48 hours, it's going to be very important that you pay attention to those kinds of things, those 6 of discs types of energies. Okay. Now we have a Queen of Wands also. And the Queen of Wands is very independent, very charismatic, very creative, can set boundaries, can set limits on those resources. How much assistance you're giving everybody else in your life and how you're asking for assistance, perhaps. The Queen maybe isn't finding it so easy to ask for help. Okay. It may be also difficult to set boundaries with other people. But this is a card of confidence, right? I think that this is a period where you might feel very inspired and you might feel very visible. Okay, I feel like you're being asked to show up somewhere. I feel like you have an energy right now that really can motivate people and inspire other people. You're being told to take the initiative on some sort of a creative or like a leadership thing, some sort of project. Yeah, you might want to step into that leadership role. And balance your ambition with that ability to help others with a warmth and a compassion for others. People are going to respond to your confidence and your ambition, but they're going to respond to your warmth and your charisma and your compassion too. It's a good period of time to pay attention to how you express yourself through your style, but also through your words and your actions. I'm feeling, in a sense, kind of, trusting yourself a little bit, trusting your instincts, especially when it comes to your resources, that 6 of Pentacles. Okay? Know what's coming in, know what's going out, and be able to sort of set a limit in some ways, okay? Now, we have the Judgment card underneath the surface. And this is, a reflection on what's changing inside of you and what needs to evolve. Okay, I feel like this is, the next couple days, I feel like you're going to get some kind of realization. There's some sort of an awakening that's brewing for a lot of you that's going to give you some sort of clarity about your purpose or about the next chapter of your life. Okay? So be ready for forgiveness. Be ready to practice forgiveness. Be ready to clear out any emotional clutter from your life. Take accountability for your choices and be ready to sort of walk through that doorway toward the future. Be ready to walk forward without carrying any undue burdens from the past. Okay? Old versions of yourself maybe let go of now so that you can continue this process of growth. There's a renewal that might be part of this for you. That we need to take action. We need to go through this doorway and make a decision and act on things that we've learned already. Lessons that we've already processed, things that we've been through in life. Let's move forward. I think a lot of you are getting that kind of very distinct realization about what's next for us. Yeah, about what, where we go from here kind of thing. Yeah. 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is love. Yeah. It's another really, really good card to have for this, this particular time frame. So there may be, for some of you, a reconnection with somebody. This is an emphasis on a partnership or some sort of emotional harmony. It's a good time to strengthen the bonds that you have through honest conversation and actively listening to the other person. And practice the balance, again, with the 6 of Pentacles, the equal giving and receiving, or building up trust, right? Maybe through the trust through the small gestures. It doesn't have to be these big grand things, but the little things that let the other person know we care and that we're here and that there is a strong connection, strong bond, okay? If the opportunity comes up, you're going to choose teamwork over isolation because challenges are going to be best overcome as a team right now. Your relationships, divine, platonic, romantic, and your relationship with yourself, those relationships are going to thrive when you focus on respect and empathy. Okay? I feel like this is going to be a very intense period of time, and I don't know exactly what's going on for you or what your situation is, but these are energies that are going to be more or less visible for the next 48 hours. Okay? And you may already be getting a bit of an idea of what this is. The Four of Swords is here too, which is good, because this may be a little bit of downtime. Okay? It may be that there's going to be an opportunity for you to rest and recover and de-stress. Okay? Especially in those relationships, whether those are business relationships, coworkers, family, friends, someone's asking you for money, there's the resources. It's always kind of stressful when you're doing business with a family member, or you have a job working with your friends, or you hired your friends, or there's some sort of business going on like with family or friends. So this is like, make sure you take time to rest and recover mentally. Practice some stillness, meditation, breathing exercises, right? Maybe take breaks from screens or stressful conversations. Okay? Sleep, meditation, and a little bit of solitude are going to be your allies, periodically in the next 2 days. And reflect on things before we jump into any new activities. And remember, Cancer, that rest is not wasted time. Rest is you preparing for what is next. Because again, that Judgment card, that kind of closing the door on something and opening up a door somewhere else. Okay. That awakening or that realization that you might be experiencing is gonna need you to have clarity and need you to have a little bit of energy sort of saved up, The Knight of Cups here, it may be a really good couple of days for some romantic opportunities. It may be, there might be some kind of an emotional opportunity that's surfacing for some of you. This is a card, the Knight of Cups, of practice, following your inspiration, but stay realistic about the outcome. You know what I mean? Follow your heart, but just stay cautious and stay practical. A good time for expressing yourself with honesty. No mixed signals. Kind of see a trend here with the 2 and the 6, of Pentacles. Communicate openly and honestly. Don't confuse anything or anyone with some kind of mixed signals, okay? But allow yourself to kind of do what's in your heart. Pursue your passion. If you have projects that really that make you kind of feel excited, make you feel alive, pursue those things, okay? Begin those things, or at least identify those things in this 2-day period of time. Be kind to people, be generous, but don't overpromise. Don't allow your energy to be drained away. Don't deplete your resources because of your generosity. Be very aware of what you're committing to. Be very honest with yourself and with others if you can't commit to certain things, or when you have to draw the line or you have to have a boundary, okay? Be sincere, but at the same time, follow your heart. Now, one thing I want to do before we move to the Path of the Serpent is a manifestation oracle card. And there it is. Universal design. See yourself as part of a sacred web giving life to your dream. And say out loud, I collaborate with Spirit. I collaborate with Spirit. Well, maybe I collaborate with everybody. The Six of Pentacles, realizing that we are part of a bigger picture. The Six of Pentacles is like we're all at a round table. We're all contributing something. And understanding, like we talked about with the Six of Pentacles, understanding the power dynamics. Are you contributing way more than somebody else? Is this a situation where you're expected to put in so much of your own, but the other people aren't willing to do that? Or the other person isn't doing that? Okay, so look at the bigger picture. You look at the larger design of the situation that you're in specifically. And notice where there might need to be a little bit of like honest conversation. There might need to be a little bit more equality or a little bit more fairness. Or you might have to, Four of Swords, you might have to step away to really think on it, to get some kind of a realization. Maybe you're being taken for granted somewhere in your life. Okay. Let's look at our Ace of Pentacles over here on the path of the Serpent. This may be a period of time where some new opportunities begin to show up for you. This could be career, this could be health, it could be opportunities that may lead to greater stability. Okay. So look for those opportunities. Look for new opportunities for resources during this 2-day period of time. Practice grounding your dreams. Focus on building something tangible. You collaborate with Spirit. You're giving life to your dream. You've got to take some concrete action that's going to help to ground that dream into concrete, earthy reality, okay? Start small, but start some, new habit. Okay, that's going to support your long-term goals. Stay alert for chances to invest your time, effort, energy, money, or space into something that will support you long-term. Okay, again, we're not just, with the Six of Pentacles, we're not just giving all our resources away. We want to invest them wisely. And be patient, okay? Don't feel like you have to rush into everything. Slow beginnings, all right, are going to lead to more steady rewards. And what you start now can really truly grow into lasting prosperity. These are seeds. This is the opportunity. Spirits, and for some of you, Spirit is giving you the gift of an entrance and or an exit. And sometimes a doorway, right? We have our Judgment card, the doorway. Sometimes that doorway can be both an exit and an entrance. So think in your life where you might want to redirect some of your resources, time, effort, energy, money, or space, Because if we take advantage of a new financial opportunity, it means we may be having to take away some of that investment from some other place. And that Queen of Wands has to be confident and deliberate. And it may say, look, I want to invest in something new, which means I have to take money away from this investment and put it into something else. Now you have an Ace of Cups. I feel like it's the same thing with your emotional investments. This could be a new emotional chapter for some of you. For new opportunities for love or peace or inspiration. I feel like this is you opening up rather than holding back. This is you taking a kind of an emotional risk, some vulnerability to invite connection. You need to practice kindness and those sort of the small things, the small gestures that are going to restore your energy and also are going to attract more of this love energy in. Express gratitude. Okay, express gratitude for what feels good, for what is present in your life, and don't go chasing after something that's missing, but appreciate what's coming in now. This is maybe a good window of time for creativity to flow in a very joyful way, not pressured, not rushed, not forced. Okay. There might be healing. For some of you, this is a healing process that's kind of like you allowing yourself to feel again. All right. Very, very interesting energy for you. My phone likes to listen in on our conversations sometimes, unfortunately. The Two of Cups, now let's remember, that does not have to be, let me see if I can turn that thing off. The Two of Cups does not have to be a romantic relationship. Just as the Two of Cups, all right, the Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, they don't have to be romance. This could be creative energy. This could be divine love. This could be self-love. It could be friendships. Okay. I think there are new opportunities now either to strengthen relationships that we have. If you're looking for love right now, this would be a good time to begin new things. It would be a good time to follow our heart cautiously, but openly, and being willing to be vulnerable and take an emotional risk, but to do so obviously with, full awareness, I guess, of kind of what we're doing, right? Temperance. Let's talk about temperance. Because this is moderation, emotional balance, okay? This is a calm consistency, patience, right? Whatever you're beginning now, if it's a financial thing, friendships, romantic things, creative things, passion projects, you're being told to do so gently. Blending logic and emotion, practicing patience, expect slow and steady progress here. We're pacing ourselves. Sometimes the Temperance card can be a pressure cooker. And sometimes if we feel there is some sort of urgency or there's some sort of pressure on us, then we end up making decisions differently than we normally would. So focus on that balance and that moderation. Practice patience. Have this nice balance between your head and your heart. And even in the routines of your life right now, just keep things simple. Keep things gentle. And treat yourself kindly. Okay. And hit the like button if you haven't yet. Push this video out to everybody that needs it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Okay. The Five of Pentacles here is obviously related to our Six. I feel like it's about the balance between like what you have and what somebody else has, and how you're in a position to help others, but you yourself might also need some sort of assistance, that you don't want to deplete what you have because somebody else needs something from you. It's kind of, it's, I think, meant to symbolize here that our resources are finite. It's not just money. It's time, effort, energy, money, and space. And those are finite resources. So there might be a slight test of your endurance, financially, maybe physically or emotionally, okay? It might be a temporary endurance test, okay? This is a good period of time to practice humility and to be able to ask for help, okay? And I think with that Six of Pentacles, there is that dynamic where are you putting in too much effort or too much money or too much time where somebody else is not? Is there somebody in your life that's asking too much of you where you're feeling depleted? Is it intentional, or is it just kind of like you got to speak up and you've got to say, hey, I'm feeling diminished and I've come to the point where I need to ask for something to come back in? Okay. It's also a card that's saying let's practice gratitude for what we do have. Let's simplify things in our life, like our finances, our routines, and even our expectations. And, maybe you're the Six of Pentacles, and maybe you are in a position where you can support somebody else, who's struggling. And maybe that empathy and that kindness and that show of support is going to be really, really healthy for you. Okay. Most of all, remember that hard times will pass, but the relationships that you have and the resilience that you possess, those are going to stick around. All right. Let's look at our mystery card. I'm thinking, what are we thinking here? Gosh, maybe balance. Maybe it's going to be the Justice card. Yeah, I think a fairness and a balance and restoring, some kind of fairness or equality or reciprocity, or even the discernment that you might need to determine where to put your time, effort, energy, and money right now, right? If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. We've got the Moon, okay? And to me, this is saying, yeah, there might be some kind of shady confusion going on right now. There might be something that we don't really know what to make of. There's some aspect of your life right now feels like it's shrouded in a little bit of mist. We don't know exactly what's going on. And maybe there is somebody that is kind of always asking you for help. There's someone in your life perhaps that is kind of always struggling and always needs you to kind of help them or bail them out. And maybe you're starting to kind of wonder, like, am I being taken advantage of? Am I being enabling? Am I being too generous? Where do I need to draw the line? This is implying that there's some mystery going on. There's something that we don't see fully. It may be really a period where you're kind of going back and forth emotionally, how you feel. Sometimes it's like, well, I want to help them, I want to keep giving, and other times you think, no, they can do it themselves. It's time for me to pull back. And then 5 minutes later you say, no, I'm going to help them, I want to help. Of course I do, So it may be that your emotions are kind of unsure. Maybe that your logic right now is a little bit unsure and unclear. We're trying to perhaps listen to the intuition, and it may just be that there's this fluctuation. It's kind of like sometimes yes, sometimes no. I don't know what to make of it. Don't rush any decisions. Observe how things feel over the next couple of days. Don't overanalyze anything. Clarity is going to come, the fog will lift, and it may just be kind of slow. It may take a couple of days from now, okay? But ground yourself in the routine and the self-care. Try to follow your heart, okay? Pay attention to your dreams, signs, symbols, synchronicities. And there may be insight there too. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a join button right below. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram, oracle cards. We will clarify love and money. And we'll do the yes/no coin. All right. Cancer, I thank you, I love you, and we are all in this together.